Approximately 8 million people go missing worldwide every year. While some are found quickly or the truth eventually comes to light, many cases go cold without explanation. Many remain unaccounted for, leaving families and communities in uncertainty. Here are 5 real-life cases of individuals who disappeared, and the circumstance around the disappearances remains unknown. From a locked office to a bar camera that captures everything, from a phone call that cuts off mid-sentence to a backpack buried miles away, these stories serve as unsettling reminders of how one day someone is there and then gone the next.
There's still some activity. Night is starting to fall, so it is assumed, and we're told they'll probably knock off for the evening, but get started again early tomorrow morning as they continue looking for the remains of Cynthia Anderson at this location. Jerry?
Toledo, Ohio, 1981. On a warm Tuesday in August, 20-year-old legal secretary Cynthia Anderson opened the law office early, as she always did. By lunchtime, co-workers unlocked the door to an empty reception. Lights humming, radio playing, phones not set to hold. Her car wasn't outside. Her purse wasn't there. And Cindy, meticulous, punctual, was nowhere to be seen. Cindy had been nervous that summer. A panic buzzer had been installed at her desk. It's been reported that Cindy had disturbing dreams about being abducted, which she had discussed with her family before her disappearance. Her sister, Christine, mentioned that Cynthia had shared these recurring nightmares with their mother, describing a shadowy figure abducting her. One detail that stuck with investigators: the paperback on her desk lay open to its only violent scene, a kidnapping at knife point. But beyond unsettling coincidences, police found nothing concrete. No body was ever found, no crime scene evidence. She just vanished. Decades on, her name still surfaces in anniversary articles. People still speculate about what happened to this day.
It's 1,460 days since he disappeared. That says a lot, I think.
For nearly 4 years, Lori Davis has run the website findbrianshaffer.com. She never knew him, never met him, never saw him. She just felt she needed to do something.
Columbus, Ohio, spring break 2006. Brian Shaffer, a 27-year-old medical student at Ohio State University, went out to celebrate with friends at the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a popular bar in the Short North District. Brian was filmed on a security camera at 2 a.m. outside the bar, chatting with 2 women. He briefly turned to go inside the bar, and that was the last time anyone saw him. The security footage is the last known footage of Brian. The cameras never captured him leaving, nor did they show him going through any other exit. He didn't show up for his flight to Miami the next morning. His car was found at his apartment. His wallet, keys, and phone were never located. Extensive searches were conducted, including checking nearby sewers, but there were no signs of Brian. The 2 women were interviewed, but were never definitively linked to the case. Over the years, law enforcement and the Ohio Attorney General's office have released age-processed images, hoping someone would recognize him. No concrete lead has ever surfaced, and theories multiply. A man walks into a bar, and then he's gone.
We realized, he's not there. So we did. We called him back several times, thinking, he'll see the phone light up. Even if he didn't have it on ring, he would see his phone light up when the call came in. He'd find it. He'd answer the call.
Minnesota, 2008. Just after finals, 19-year-old Brandon Swanson set off across the Minnesota countryside to return home. It was a late night, and he had just finished his exams. Around 1:45 a.m., while driving on a rural stretch of road, his car slipped off the icy gravel and became stuck in a ditch. Brandon called his parents immediately, letting them know he was stranded. He stayed on the phone with them as he attempted to walk to a nearby town, describing his surroundings in the dark. Over the course of the call, he mentioned seeing landmarks, country roads, a gravel path, and some distant lights, and reassured his parents that he was fine. His parents, unable to reach him directly due to the poor reception, rushed to the back roads. They drove with their headlights sweeping over the gravel and ditch lines, trying to pick up any sound of their son's voice, hoping he was still on the phone. Then, in the midst of the call, Brandon suddenly said, "Oh sh*," and the line went dead. Despite repeated attempts to call him, he didn't answer again. His parents drove to where they believed he might be, but found nothing. When his car was eventually located, it was miles from where they believed he had been. In the days that followed, search dogs traced a scent to the Yellow Medicine River, but it led nowhere. Despite an extensive search, no trace of Brandon was ever found. His car keys, phone, glasses, and clothing were never located. The case sparked public outcry and led to the creation of Brandon's Law, which mandates a quicker police response for missing adults. Yet, despite all efforts, the mystery of Brandon's disappearance remains unsolved. No concrete evidence was ever recovered, leaving only questions and a deep sense of loss for his family.
Actually got stopped in the traffic stop, the roadblock, with law enforcement there looking for a little girl.
Investigators from Lincoln County, the SBI and the FBI hit the ground running early this morning around 7:30 and fanned out across several acres of the old Northbrook School property.
Valentine's Day, 2000, Shelby, North Carolina. In the early hours before dawn, 9-year-old Asha Degree quietly left home, carrying a packed backpack. It is believed she had had an argument with her parents the night before, though the exact reason remains unclear. She walked alone along Highway 18, braving terrible weather. Drivers caught sight of her, walking in the beam of their headlights. One concerned driver turned around to check on her, offering assistance. However, when they tried to approach her, Asha suddenly bolted into the nearby woods, disappearing into the rain and darkness. That was the last confirmed sighting of her. A year and a half later, workers at a construction site miles away found her backpack, still packed with her belongings. The FBI later publicized the items inside, hoping to trigger new leads, but nothing substantial came of it. Over the years, various theories have been explored, but no answers have surfaced. In 2024 and 2025, renewed searches and warrants brought new attention to the case. Despite the years that have passed, Asha's family continues to walk Highway 18 each year, holding on to hope that someone, somewhere, will finally bring the missing pieces together.
Meine Familie und Freunde haben die Suche nie aufgegeben. Besonders Mama Sandra kämpft jeden Tag darum, endlich eine Spur von ihrem Sohn zu bekommen.
Wir vermissen ihn sehr. Ist unser einziger Sohn.
July 2014, Varna, Bulgaria. 28-year-old Lars Mittank, a German tourist, was vacationing in Bulgaria with friends when a violent altercation at a local bar left him injured. After receiving treatment for a mild concussion at a hospital, he was advised to rest before returning home. However, Lars's behavior became erratic. He grew paranoid, convinced that the men involved in the fight were after him, though there was no evidence to support this. Despite being scheduled to fly back to Germany, Lars acted strangely at the airport. Instead of boarding his flight, he became visibly distressed. CCTV footage from the airport captured Lars walking through the terminal, appearing agitated. Then, abruptly, he ran into a secluded area of the airport before bolting out of the building and disappearing into the surrounding woods. That was the last time he was seen. Searches were launched, but no trace of Lars was ever found. His passport, phone, and belongings were left behind. Over the years, various theories have been suggested, from a psychotic episode triggered by his concussion, an abduction, or an animal attack. But nothing has been conclusively proven. The case remains unsolved more than a decade later. As mentioned before, approximately 8 million people go missing worldwide every year. These were just 5 examples. Each case stands as a reminder of how quickly life can change, leaving those left behind to grapple with the unknown. For every headline, there are countless families waiting for answers, wondering if their loved one is alive or if the truth will ever come to light. Some mysteries fade into silence, while others remained etched in public memory, sparking theories and speculation for decades.